Hey there, welcome. Thanks for joining me. If this is your first time to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing. And don't forget to click on that bell button so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And if you enjoy this tutorial, please give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. I truly appreciate it. So today we're going to make this adorable farmhouse mailbox for Santa. You're going to go ahead and use one of the gift box mailboxes they have at Dollar Tree, one of the small wallet-sized picture frames, and I'm using the tube of the aluminum foil. And I'm using that one because it's a lot sturdier and thicker. But if you don't have that, go ahead and use maybe like the plunger stick if you want it all wood. What you're going to do is go ahead and remove the mirror and everything from your frame. And then you're going to go ahead and glue back into the frame the backing of it. And I added a little bit of E6000 and basically just inserted my backing back into my picture frame and then bent the little lips that they have with your frame. Then you're going to go ahead and do the same process with your tube. You're going to add a little bit of E6000 and some hot glue and then just place it in the center of your picture frame. And just hold it there for a few seconds to allow the hot glue to dry, and then set it aside so it can completely dry. While that's drying, we're going to go ahead and paint the mailbox, gift box. And what I decided to use was the red from Apple Barrel, and I'll leave the color down below. I believe it's brick red or barn red, but I'll make sure to leave the exact color of red that I used down below. And just go ahead and brush it onto your box. Now I put a nice thick coat of paint on my box, so I just needed to use one coat, but you can surely use two if you want to use thinner coats. I don't have any little kids in my home anymore, so I decided to make it more of a barn style, something that I know that I can use instead of it being more kiddish, but feel free to use it as is if you don't want to paint the mailbox, and go ahead and just paint the stand, and that would look adorable too. But for my style, I wanted it to be farmhouse. So while your mailbox is painting, go ahead and grab your stand and paint that black. And I'm just using the Apple Barrel black and just giving it a good coat of black paint, my frame and my tube. You probably could spray paint this if you'd like, but I just chose to go ahead and paint it. It doesn't take too long, and it doesn't take long to dry either, so I just went ahead and did it that way. While all my pieces are drying, I went ahead and got these alphabet wood pieces that you can get at Dollar Tree now, and I just got the word Santa. So I just used, basically you'll have to get 2 packs because there's only one of each letter, so I had to get 2 packs. And I'm also using the wood bells that you can get at Dollar Tree. And what I'm going to do is use the brown from Apple Barrel, and going to go ahead and give this kind of like a wood stain style. And I'll show you how I did that. So just go ahead and grab the color of your choice. Again, I'll leave the colors down below that I used from Apple Barrel. And you don't need much. And just go ahead and grab your paintbrush. And the way I did it was I used kind of like a dry technique and brushed all the paint on the edges. And I brushed it inwards, not outwards. So just go ahead and do that to your entire bell or anything you're painting. And whatever's left of the paint on your brush, just go ahead and brush it in the middle. And basically this dries instantly, and there you have it. And I did this to all my letters and both of my bells, and I did it to both sides. Again, brushing it inwards, and then whatever was left over in my paintbrush, I just brushed it on to the rest of my bell. And there you have it. And again, like I said, I did the same process to my letters. This one basically just kind of doing it here and there, and then whatever was left over in my paintbrush, just brushed it all on. So once you're done with your letters and you set those aside, go ahead and get your mailbox. And what we're going to do is paint the actual little handle that comes with your mailbox. And I went ahead and decided to paint that black. Now, after I painted it, I thought I could just have used a permanent black marker to do this part. So if you don't want to paint this little lip, your little sign, or I don't know what it's called, but your lip on your mailbox, if you don't want to paint it, you can easily use a permanent black marker to do the same steps, and just go ahead and do it that way. So once that's dry, just go ahead and use the same brush that you used to paint your lip, and whatever was left on my brush, I just went ahead and started distressing my mailbox, basically doing all the edges black. And again, I didn't add any more paint to my brush, just whatever was left on there. And I'd started for the first one. Now the second one, I added a little bit like you see there, brushed whatever I could off of it, and just did all the edges with the distressed black look. Now, if you don't want to do it black, you could do it white, or you can even use the brown if you'd like to. I just wanted it to look a certain style, so I ended up using the black. I love using this technique, especially on wood paper stuff or cardboard, just so it can look more metal or look more the way I wanted it to, and not look like if it's just made out of cardboard. If you see this in person, it actually really does look like a little miniature tin mailbox. So I was really happy and satisfied the way it turned out. Let me know if you guys are still continuing to decorate for Christmas, or if you're already completely done. I'm never done for Christmas, because even if I'm completely done for this year, I make DIYs for next year already. So I still do some crafting for Christmas for at least a good 2 more weeks. But whatever's left on your brush, just go ahead and brush it on all over your mailbox. And that's just optional. You don't have to do this step, but I did. I just brushed on whatever was left. Once everything's completely dry, the mirror that came with my picture frame, I decided to go ahead and glue it onto the top of my stand. Using some E6000 and a little bit of hot glue again, I placed that little glass on top of my stand, and that's just so it can balance my mailbox a little bit better. I had thought about adding 2 popsicle sticks up there, so if you don't want to use the glass, feel free to use maybe some popsicle sticks and glue them on top of your stand as well, just to give that more secure feeling for your mailbox. And on top of your glass, or whatever you decide to use, go ahead and add a little bit more E6000 and some hot glue, and press your mailbox onto that stand in the center, and then allow it to dry for a few minutes before you decide to go ahead and move on and start decorating. So I set that aside to allow the glue to dry. Next, I'm going to make a simple bow. And I had this bow from, I believe it was Dollar General. And it's really cute. It has the little wagon, the truck, but I hadn't used it. So I decided to go ahead and make a bow. You're just going to go ahead and get 3 strips of bow ribbon and cut them about an inch to an inch and a half difference in size. When you fold them, they're going to look like this, like a triangle. Then just go ahead and make bows with each one of your strips of ribbon, placing one on the top, placing the largest one on the top, and then just continue to do the triangle, smaller ones towards the bottom. Once you're done with that, go ahead and just get anything you want to use to tie a knot in the center of your bow to put all your ribbons together. And there you have your bow. Now all you have to do is fluff it out and fix it to your liking. Now right here, if you wanted to add some tails to your bow, just go ahead and insert that ribbon piece in the back and then just tie a knot to it. I decided not to do that, so I went ahead and just started fluffing out my bow. Okay, now what I did was the same process, but I used white, green, and then this snowflake ribbon from Dollar Tree as well, and made the same kind of bows and added them all together. Then I glued a little piece of cotton ball flower in the middle of that. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and use some of the green jute twine, because that's what I had on hand, and go ahead and connect my two bells together. And I didn't show you how to make the rest of the bow because I've showed you the procedures of how to make just the shoelace tie bows and everything else. So I figured I would just show you that one bow that I hadn't shown you. So just go ahead and get your bells. And I've got an extra long piece of ribbon or jute twine because I'm not sure how long I want them to be. So I'll just cut the excess off once I start connecting everything together and adding it to my mailbox. So what I decided to do was go ahead and get one of the Christmas picks from Dollar Tree, cut it in half, and I'm going to glue one side of the pick to one side of my mailbox, and then the other side I'll glue the other piece to it. But first I glued one piece, and then I'm going to see if my bow fits the way I like it. And I ended up not adding it yet because I didn't like it. I thought it was too big for one side. So I went ahead and went to the next step, which was to add my bells. And I'm adding one a little bit longer than the other. So once I'm happy with where I'm going to place them, I'm going to go ahead and twist the top of my rope and then add a little bit of glue to my mailbox and glue the jute twine to that. And that's how my bells will stay in place. And I'm still trying to figure out how to place this bow on my mailbox because like I said, I wanted to place it completely on there, but I didn't like it. So that's why I decided to go ahead and take the bow apart. Basically the white and green and red bow, I made one smaller one, and then the bow that I made, the larger bow, I'm adding it to the opposite side of my mailbox. So you're going to get two different looks of this mailbox. Now using a little bit of the garland with the red berries, just go ahead and twist that around the bottom of your stand or your pole, and adding a little bit of glue to the top and the bottom of your garland just so it can stay in place. And then I decided to go ahead and add a little bit of berries and some decorations in the center of my bow, just so it wouldn't look so plain. And the little miniature mini Christmas ornaments, I had a few of them that I had already painted from another project. So that's something you can always remember to do, is those little mini Christmas ornaments, or any Christmas ornament, you can easily paint them the color you like, and I use chalk paint for those. And here I am just adding some berries and little things that I had left over, a small miniature pine cone, and that was about it. Now with my letters, I went ahead and glued them onto my pole of my mailbox, and I just kind of angled them one way and the other way, just so they could all fit nice and neat and for it to look a little bit more fun. And you can use any letters to spell out anything on the bottom. It's your choice. I just decided to go ahead and spell out Santa. And there you have it, an adorable farmhouse mailbox for Santa. What do you guys think? I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, you guys stay blessed. Bye.